In response to a changing landscape nationwide, the Oklahoma Association of Realtors worked with lawmakers and industry partners to provide confidence and solidify transparency in our real estate industry. SB 1920, authored by Senator Paul Racino and Representative Anthony Moore, requires brokers disclose compensation in writing before the execution of a contract.
One of the biggest things that we always hear about, especially with clients or when we go meet with them, is what are the numbers going to be? What's compensation going to be? How much is this going to cost me? And one of the things that I like about this bill is it's very transparent from the front end, that clients, brokers, agents, everyone will know in the beginning what's going to cost and what their fees are going to be and what compensation will be.
Really, the great thing about SB 1920 was it started prior to all the national attention and the changes that were made because of the lawsuit that was settled. And so we were on the front end of it, and that always looks good. It always looks good when we're out in front. And so the Realtors Association did a really good job putting this piece of legislation forward and just really trying to make sure that we're being transparent, not only with on behalf of the realtors to make sure that they say, hey, listen, this is what it is. And we're being transparent with you, but also for obviously my constituents and all those that are either buying or selling a home, just to let them know very transparently, hey, here's what the process is, here's what the fee schedule is, here's how long this contract works.
Again, the agreements had to be up front, and we had originally in the bill we had put 10 days, but that didn't make sense, because if you sign something and then you still have 10 days and you still don't know the numbers, that's not really transparency. So now it has to be up front prior to you signing an agreement.
Well, the biggest thing is that it gives people assurances that they're being protected. Both sides. I think it's good for realtors, but I think it's good for home buyers and sellers as well, to make sure that they know that, hey, someone's looking out for me. Quite frankly, a lot of realtors do that. A lot of realtors take really good care of their clients, because that's how you get repeat clients and customers and referrals. And the overwhelming majority, especially the 14,000 plus that are members of the Realtors Association, do that. But we all know that there are some that don't. And so this just gives assurances to those that maybe aren't familiar with the process, that haven't really sold or bought a house in Oklahoma before, or maybe at all, that my best interest is being looked out for, not only at the legislative level, but also by my realtor, because they have these requirements on them to make sure that we're just being transparent, taking care of one another the way that we're supposed to. That's kind of that Oklahoma standard, and this just really promotes that, I think, and puts us in an even better spot than we were before.
I would just like to say, hey, you guys are incredible professionals, and we do some really great things for our communities and for our people, and hopefully this will make your lives a whole lot more easy, that you're not having to negotiate when you're in the middle of a contract that maybe people didn't know what the numbers were.
Well, obviously the Realtors Association is a very incredible opportunity for realtors to have a voice at the Capitol. 14,000 members is a huge number. I mean, there are very few groups that are bigger than that. And I'm very honored to say that I have several friends that are part of that. And so when I saw this piece of legislation and was approached about running it, I called my friends in real estate and said, hey, I think you probably already do a lot of this. And do you see any negatives about this? Do you see any concerns? And so I called the realtors throughout my district, just making sure that this legislation didn't have any unintended consequences, making sure that it really was not unfair to realtors, because I do want it to protect the citizens and the constituents that I represent, but I also want to make sure, hey, a lot of my constituents and citizens of Oklahoma are realtors, so is it fair to them? Is it putting unnecessary burdens on them? So the Realtors Association played a tremendous impact, and what I wish I could tell all 14,000 plus realtors is, you have an incredible opportunity to be a big unified voice at the Capitol, one of the biggest in the state. Use that opportunity, continue to lean on your lobbyists and liaisons to really represent you. Yeah, and you can really make a big impact for the state, and I appreciate what they do.
Yes, they were very helpful from the very start. They actually came to me with this language and said, hey, we really think this is very important for our agents, for our clients, for the consumer, that they know ahead of time what all these fees are going to be and what compensation is. And it just makes it easier in the long run for everyone when they know what the numbers are going to be before they get started.
Thank you to Senator Paul Racino and Representative Anthony Moore for helping us pass this much-needed legislation.